Hey, hello guys. Hey everybody. Welcome to really great Ki-West. It's a beautiful night. We still haven't felt like 83 degrees. I thought I was trying to get you guys to hear the chickens and the birds right now. So we are on Whitehead Street. And as in all the other parts of town, the chickens have taken over. Well, hey Marion, End of Society, Jason, James, and Big Bear, Tedward. Hey Richard. Hope you guys are getting your vitamin D, get some fresh air. I'm sending you some sunshine, although the sun is now behind the buildings over there. So we are at the end of Highway 1, and today, as of this morning, Highway 1 has a roadblock up before Key Largo when you come from the mainland, mile marker 112.5. I'm being very precise, that's what they said. There is another one if you do take the Cartsound Road into the Keys. So we have a roadblock in place. So unless you can prove that you live on any of the Keys, are employed here, have a rental of more than 28 days, etc. As long as you can prove, you can continue. If you're just here for the fun and just wanted to drive down the Keys, not sure how you're going to do that because all the hotels are closed, but hey, who knows? We have a lot of day trippers coming down from Miami. They had to turn around starting this morning, so roadblocks in place. Hello, Joe. Hello, Shandy. Yes, Joe, I saw that Orlando is on lockdown. I hope you guys are still out to get out and get some sun. And so yes, no more day trippers in Key West. So in order, first the cruise ship stopped, then the bars closed, the restaurants closed except for takeaway, then the hotels closed for all nightly rentals, weekly rentals, and now there is a roadblock in place. So unless you can prove that you're here for a reason, you're not making it to this sign at this point. Hope you will soon again. So when we heard that, we got a Conch Republic flag, and I was trying to start the stream with a Conch Republic flag, but we barely have any wind, so you can't see it. So I thought the mile marker 0 was more fitting. Oh, now you have a little bit of wind. There you go. So I guess you can say the Conch Republic is back in place. So this is the end of Highway 1 right now. Hello, Chris. Hope everything is going great over in California. I was just talking about the roadblock we have in place, the Conch Republic being, I guess, back, not officially succeeded again. And here are the chickens. Hello. Why are you coming at me? So the current status is it's chicken heaven apparently. Hope they're not getting used too much on being able to cross the street whenever they want without paying attention, because of course traffic is much lower right now. Also because, so Simonton Street was a project I was up for repavement for a while. So they had just started Simonton Street, and which is one street parallel to Duval. And then with the closures and everything, they decided to repave Duval Street. And you know, Ki-West, it's an island, everything is on Ki-West time, so imagine our surprise when they literally started the next day of announcing that they are going to repave Duval Street, and they just started. So I'm gonna take you guys over there. So here, the United States Post Office, this area is kind of it's always a chicken area, and there is this amazing rooster here, black and white rooster. And I just saw a black and white hen, so it must be his offspring, but now they're hiding, so I don't know where they went. Hello, James. Hello, Becky. So if you have streamed our streams over the last days, pretty interestingly enough, they took the tarp off the southernmost point and removed the barricades. So the southernmost point is back. I think they repainted it. It's all shiny and new. On the other hand, though, they just announced that they are closing down Higgs Beach, which, I mean, sorry guys, but thinking logically, you know, they were closing up beaches, including Smathers, which I totally understand was a spring break location. That was the first beach to close. It's the biggest beach, etc. But they closed all the public spaces and parks and beaches until only Higgs Beach was left. And then they go like, oh, there were too many people. We have to close it. So I found that really interesting. I'm not very sure I see the logic in it, considering that I do think that as much as possible we should be in the sun and outside. And don't get me wrong, I obviously understand the idea of social distancing, but now that everybody is gone, the island is pretty empty, so I am sure we have more than enough space for everybody to keep away 6 feet from another person. Considering that, you know, I mean, there are lots of reports out there saying that sunshine is important, getting your vitamin D up. So we will see. But I just feel very badly for, you know, Ki-West is a very expensive place. Lots and lots of people have lost their jobs. And given that the rentals are already really, really pricey, people tend to, you know, live with roommates, live in very small places. So I am not sure how good it is for your mental health to not be able to go out. This being said, at this point, we're not on a lockdown, so you are absolutely free to walk outside, except that all the public spaces are now closed, so you can basically walk in the street. So limiting public space where you can walk. I don't know. I guess everybody has a different opinion on that. But it is a shame that in a place where you have enough space, I mean, it's not like it's very crowded right now, right? So we shall see. We had a question the other day if Wendy's is still open. So yes, it is. It's open for carry out and delivery, like a lot of the restaurants here. Fortunately, a lot of them don't make it, so we had a couple of closures until this is over at least. So Fingers crossed. So Wendy's is open, and here we go. So the road, we are on Duval Street and the road work. So here we go, the surprise road work on Duval Street. At least we seem to be allowed to go and see how concrete is poured. And so they are starting the road work from Greene Street. So over there, coming this way towards Truman Avenue. So that is the plan. And as I said, they announced it one day and then the next day actually started. And of course, I take you out on doing my favorite hour of the day, which is just before sunset, because I love the colors. And we will try to get over to the currently only space, I think, where you can still see the ocean, which is Margaritaville Pier. I totally agree with Tedward. It was absolutely time to redo Duval Street. So let's see what they are doing. So I think the worst part is towards Greene Street, those crossroads, that's pretty bad. And then there was another section further up that way, just after Truman, which is pretty bad on your bike. And I have a trike, so it's almost impossible to avoid the potholes. You can't zigzag as much as with a regular bike. So they have started redoing the sidewalks. And if you've seen our stream where they reopened the southernmost point, they had been redoing the painting. So here they're going a step further. They are actually redoing the sidewalks, upgrading them to ADA requirements. I think it was pretty difficult to get on and off these sidewalks. I love it how some bars still have music on. All this being said, lots of the places you can still do takeout. Of course, liquor store here is open. Talking about essential retail. Of course, we are going to get flagged for the background music. That is okay. Looks like even Lucy's has closed up their bar and takeout space. I see some of the construction is right in front of Sloppy Joe's. Of course, redoing the sidewalks is a little bit tricky when you have the cruise ships in town on a regular base. And of course, right now would have been high season. Irish Caverns, which closed on St. Patrick's Day at 5 p.m. Now it looks like even the pizza takeout here is now closed. Of course, the work here on the street is not going to attract more people right now, so those guys here on the corner were the only ones left selling pizza. Because of course the bars have been closed since St. Patrick's Day, but the food and the restaurant locations can still operate on a takeout and delivery base. Of course, now with only the locals on the island, you know, with all the food outlets that we have, your potential customer base is pretty small. So guys, the corner of Greene Street and Duval Street under construction here. So I normally go over on that side. That's like my corner to get the 360 shot here. I'll just stay on the next to the brand new curb. Hey Barbara, hey Tom. Welcome back to Ki-Uwest, everybody. So we are on the corner of Greene Street and Duval Street, and as you can see, there is some work going on. Of course, Captain Tony's over here. They are redoing the bar. I'm not sure how far they gotten on that. But we might be able to sneak in there soon. Who knows? Our home bar, of course. So at this point, we do still have some of the snowbirds down here. Of course, if you own a place here, even if you're not here all the time, you can still get past the roadblock up in Key Largo. And also the tourists that had rental spaces of 28 days and more are still allowed to be here. They just cannot renew their rental place. Quick look at Hog's Breath. I like it how there are some lights on. Where are the chickens? I thought there was going to be a party here. I hear them. There's one sitting right there. There's another one up there. Ooh, that's spooky. The TV is on. So Hawk's Breath is guarded by the chickens. By the way, technically speaking, tours and attractions of less than 10 people can still operate. So in theory, pedicabs and that guy with his tuk-tuk still do tours. The only thing is that there aren't many people left to do those tours. I take you to the very end here of Duval Street, so you can have a glimpse of the ocean. So speaking about construction, so we're obviously still renovating. And so today was the day we finally sanded the floors. So when we went to inquire about a sander, renting a sander for a day yesterday, the guy looks at us, he's like, why is everybody renting sanders? So it looks like everybody on the island is in full construction mode. Of course, with the climate here, everything needs to be fixed pretty much all the time. So actually most of the people have gone into like maintenance and renovation modes in their places. I mean, the climate is brutal and there's stuff to replace all the time. So yeah, we're all dusty. And tomorrow we're gonna have to stain that floor, but at least the sanding is done. There you go, guys. You can see a little bit there is some vitamin D for you. A little bit of sunshine right here. Sunset Pier. Of course, Sunset Pier being a bar and part of a hotel, it's obviously closed. Oh, nice. Looks like it is pretty hot in Orlando. Joe's just saying it's 91 degrees. It's only 84, felt like right here. So, trying to see the positive side, Joe. It was probably a good day to stay inside. I suppose. So I'm not gonna try to get over to Mallory Square. I showed you guys the way it is closed in the last stream, and I got yelled at for that because we were in the parking lot. Apparently you're not allowed to be in a public parking lot, but we are still gonna go over here. Ooh, thank you, Thomas. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. We really appreciate it. So you know from the description, and all the links are in the video description. If you tip $20 or more, you can have your dollar up at Captain Tony's. So right now we are on a backlog because we haven't been able to put up any dollars, of course, since Captain Tony's is closed. So I'm trying to keep track. If you want your dollar up, please let me know what you want on that dollar. You can create your own dollar and send it to the address that is in the video description. Or alternatively, I can just do it for you and you just let me know what you want to have written on there. So we have a couple of dollars in the making. Oh, let's see if the creepy chicken tree is still there. So we walked by here, and here is this tree that was holding 8 chickens the other day. I only see 3 so far. I think what is impressive is that they all decided to be up in a tree. And so when you walk through here, you've got all those shadows of chickens around you. So of course at the end over there you have Mallory Square. We can get a little bit closer. And add a creepy tree to that. And we are good. The thing is, I bet these guys are really hungry because they probably live off of food from right here, El Maison de Pepe. Food that falls from the plates. And of course we have the sunset celebration here on Mallory Square with the popcorn and holy guacamole and everybody bringing food and drinks. Being followed by the chickens. More up here. So this has turned into Chicken Alley. And yes, I bet these guys are hungry. The ones with the chicks is here. So of course this, which is kind of one of the main access to Mallory Square, is blocked off too. Talking about chickens crowing at 6 a.m. or 4 a.m., we have a very misguided rooster close to our house who basically crows at midnight. 11:30 midnight. And then again, yes, 4 a.m. kind of. So what do you guys think? Do you think we should get like a bag of chicken feed and come and give those guys something to eat? I kind of feel really bad for them. I agree with Barbara saying that the city should feed them. I don't know if they have thought about that just yet. When they attack the first people because they're so hungry, then they're probably going to think about it. So we'll see. We have one pet store on the island. I might go and have to check if they have anything for chickens, although these guys are probably thriving on the popcorn that you get on Mallory Square. So sunset tonight is at 7:44. So we have a little over 10 minutes. So let's go and see if we can catch some last rays of sun over here, which has now become our go-to place if we want to see the sunset. Given that pretty much everything else is now closed. So another thing I've noticed is that, so we have a lot of locals that now go on bike rides and come to this area, because normally when you live here you kind of tend to avoid like Old Town, the Greene Street and Duval Street area because there's so much traffic. So now that it's pretty empty, a lot of people come here, and the locals come for bike rides, and a lot of them have like bring their own music. So you still hear music across the island. The other day we were picking up food and somebody was blasting opera down Duval Street. That was pretty cool. And so see, sorry Barbara, I missed your comment earlier asking if Gabe was playing tonight. Well, no, he's not playing, given that we're kind of, all the bars are closed, and so what we do is we have switched to porch sessions, and so far we've mainly done them on the days he was usually playing, and we're gonna have another one tomorrow. So we're gonna do that from 5 till 7. We tried 6 till 8, but with the sunset, the the mosquitoes came out, and so the 5 to 7 o'clock ones seem to be a little bit more comfortable on the porch. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. So if you want to come over and listen to some live music and you have some song requests, just tune into our channel right here tomorrow 5 till 7 for another porch session. And if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification button. We sometimes go live a little bit last minute because there are developments here. You know, we don't always know ahead of time. I went live as soon as I saw that the southernmost point had the tarp taken off, for example. So there was no way of, you know, even on our Facebook page, I wasn't able to post before. So subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button so you get those messages, or check out our Facebook page, Right on the Rock. As I said, 99% of the time I post a message before going live, but I didn't last time. So let's see what we have here. Okay, of course, new development. So this part is closed now as well, which is a little bit odd because that is not city property, but belongs to the Margaritaville Resort. So normally that was a nice spot to still watch the sunset. Now it's a private property. And guess what happens when you close down open space? Well, it means that people have to group in the smaller space. Again, everybody's pretty much 6 feet apart, but I'm just saying, if anybody from the city of Ki-West is seeing this, come on guys. I mean, we are so lucky that we have so much space, so little people. Make it accessible for everybody, make the spaces accessible so that we can spread out. So we have been here several times for the sunset ever since Mallory Square closed down. This is the busiest I have seen this space since they have now closed down all the other spaces where you can see the sunset. So let's see how long this lasts, because that means they are going to close this spot too, probably. So let's see if we can go do another sunset in a couple of days or so we had a sunset stream last week where we were trying to go and catch the sunset from the other side of the island after they closed down Mallory Square. We went to Higgs Beach, we went to the White Street Pier. We didn't really see the sunset as well as you would from here because the Navy base was in the way. But they closed down White Street Pier today, and same for the pier on Higgs Beach, which explains why there are so many people here now. Oh yes, we should be able to see the sun right here. Yes, let's get that spot here. There she goes.
Take the Oilers. People, don't go away. We're going to have another sunset in 15 minutes. I'm going to have another sunset. We have a revolving sunset here. Good for tourism, good for sales. Those pelicans were a little late to the party. Yeah, really.
So we are at the very end of this little walk here, which I am not really sure if this belongs to any of the hotels here. So you cannot cross from this side over to the Truman waterfront. So there is no bridge here, so it literally stops here.
I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Thank you, Chris. Much appreciated. Thank you so much. So yes, this doesn't go any further, so you have no connection over to the Truman waterfront. But surprise, surprise, the Truman waterfront is closed anyways. So you know, all the space where people could spread out is unfortunately closed up. So again, don't get me wrong, everybody here totally understands the situation.
Right by the yacht. Where the jewelry store is there? They already have their cake. This is it. This strip is it. This is it.
They're saying the same thing. They say this is all we have left to come and see the sunset. So let's try to cram more people in small spaces instead of just opening up things. But again, just to be very clear, everybody here understands the situation, but don't create problems when you don't have any. Of course, we had issues with the spring breakers. There was some beaches and some bars that were, you know, where they would still meet up even if the bar was closed. They would bring drinks. I mean, all that is understood. We all know that that had to stop. But you have seen the streams we did for sunset. People were staying at least 6 feet apart because it was possible. Now that this here is the only space, they either have the choice of closing it down or, you know, people are gonna get closer. What do you want to do? Again, as I mentioned, a lot of people down here don't live in houses. We have a lot of shared apartments, people living with roommates. So staying inside isn't always very easy. Besides, fresh air and a little sun is probably healthier than staying inside in the AC. So guys, I hope you are opening those windows from time to time. Take a deep breath. Look at the sun. Thanks, Chris. Enjoy that pizza. That is the ferry going over to Sunset Key. So you can only get on that ferry if you have a reservation over at Latitudes, the restaurant on Sunset Key there. Obviously currently closed. So it's just for those that live there and take their ferry back home. And thank you so much, Elizabeth, for your donation. I don't think it set up that little animation here, so we have two ways of donating. One is via that Streamlabs link, which has that little animation, and one is just a regular PayPal link. Normally when I have access to my computer, I can just manually add it and then you get that little animation. So apologies, it doesn't work because I'm just on my phone right here. That's the stuff I can do during the live streams when I have access to a larger screen. But thank you so much, and we will look into feeding those chickens, I promise. We'll have to see. I figured the pet shop is open because it counts as essential retail. And I am sure they should have some chicken feed right there. I could look into what else you can mix it with and then just mix it myself maybe. I want to make sure they get something healthy. So yes, Operation Let's Feed Those Chickens. I just wonder what if they would attack me if I would come in there with food. Probably would have to like put out several portions at once so they kind of don't jump on one big, like in one big cluster. I don't really know. Maybe I'll have to get Gabe to come with me. Gabe and Kevin and Man Cave, you are gonna be part of Operation Feeding the Chickens. So guys, this was the first sunset after the roadblock on US1. So seeing a lot of Conch Republic flags out. There was a guy on his bike who had a Conch Republic flag on the back. It's obviously the retail stores are closed, but I think CVS and Walgreens sell Conch Republic flags, and I found somebody on Facebook Marketplace who's still selling and delivering flags. So for tomorrow's stream from the porch, we are going to have our Conch Republic flag. And I think this is the first time we're actually walking down Greene Street, almost actually after the sunset. So let's go and see if Sloppy Joe's and all of those guys switch on their lights at night, or if it's just dark and eerie. Instead of peaceful and quiet, let's see. It actually looks quite busy now here in the street. It's the time people go for a walk. It's been pretty hot today. So if you want to go for a walk, this is the time. And it is kind of funny because, I mean, since we're in between two places and in our new place we can't really cook, we are using some of the takeout services that a lot of the places now offer here in Ki-West, and we just realized that today was like the 4th day in a row that we were going for Cuban. Because a lot of those little places are takeout places to begin with, so the food is amazing. Cuban Coffee Queen is still open, so I want you guys to know that we are actively supporting all our little local stores as much as we can. The supermarkets are doing pretty good here, except for paper products. Surprisingly good. So now that it's only the locals on the island, we have a whole bunch of supermarkets that normally caters to way more people than we are, so things don't look too gloomy here. Tiki House has the lights on. Captain Tony's doesn't, but I saw a little bit of light in the back. So they are working on something. I see light in the back. So yes, as I said, lots of places doing renovation work right now, including the city of Ki-West. Bye Joe, take care. Hope you can join us tomorrow for our porch session. Yes, looks like Sloppy Joe's doesn't have the lights on. Maybe it's just not dark enough yet. Huh, I don't know how to access the So construction zone downtown Ki-West, corner of Greene Street and Duval Street. More updates to come soon. Before that, a little music stream tomorrow. And I'll let you know how and what we can do for those chickens. In normal times, it is not allowed to feed them. It's not allowed to feed the wildlife. But then again, if the wildlife lives off the food that they normally get and that food isn't available, I don't know. So I'll let you know. Hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy your, it's Friday, kind of losing track of time here. Enjoy your Friday night. And I hope to see you guys soon. Stay safe, wash those hands. See ya. Take care.